I'd go crazy if I lived next to this HOA, Karen. Wait till you hear about it. Check out this video in podcast form by searching Austin Stories wherever you listen, or check the video description for a link. In 2019, I bought a condo. I had not been moved in more than 10 days when I got a knock on the door. I live in a building that only has apartments on the second floor, there's 4 floors, and a communal area below us. I like the location because I don't have to worry about being loud to people beneath me. Well, this Karen knocks on the door, and I open it. Hi, I'm Karen, and we share a wall. I'm Austin. Okay, can I help you? I have done the pricing on having my outlets sealed. You need to pay half because I can smell the food that you are cooking since you moved in, and I do not like it. Excuse me, what? I do not like the smells coming from your house. It makes me nauseous. What smells are causing you to feel sick? The cabbage and onion smells, and you cooked fish. It is unbearable. Maybe you should hustle down to Bed Bath & Beyond and buy one of those fancy, expensive scented candles. No, I need you to pay me half for having my outlets sealed. No, I will cook what I want to cook in my apartment that I bought. There's nothing in the CC&Rs that says I need to avoid cooking fish or cabbage. Also, onions are a primary ingredient in a lot of world cuisine. I will continue to use all of these ingredients. Well, I paid for my apartment as well, so I do not want to be subject to your nasty smells. Okay, look, here is the deal. I'm going to close the door. If you want to improve your home by sealing outlets that will not stop the smell, you're entirely within your right as a homeowner to do that. However, you will do it at your own expense. Moving forward, there is no reason for you to interact with me unless there's a legitimate issue with the wall or the pipes that we share. Well, that is just rude. I am unconcerned with how you feel about me or the food that I cook. There is no reason for you to ever talk to me again unless it has to do with our shared wall and our pipes. Goodbye. I shut the door and went back to my business. A couple of days later, the HOA leader knocked on my door and asked me about the issue. I told her that I was not entertaining any of this bullcrap, that the two could call the police and send them out to arrest me over the cabbage, onions, and fish. The HOA leader laughed out loud and told me that she just wanted to be sure that things were calm and that there were no issues moving forward. I told her that we'd be cool if Karen minded her own dang business and didn't concern herself with my dietary decisions. I've been here 3 years now and I see Karen regularly. We do not interact unless necessary. We had a pipe burst during our 2021 winter storm and we had to get together and threaten to sue the HOA when they said they would not fix the pipes. They own them and they're responsible for them. There was no problem. Afterward, we went back to peacefully coexisting without having to be friends or interact with each other. I still cook cabbage, fish, and onions. What have you done? You literally can cook what you want in your own dang house, okay? I'm going to make what I want and grill my steak medium. That's right. I've said medium in a previous video. Got some comments. How do you cook your steak? I screwed up by not paying my HOA dues. Very recently started working again. We owed about $2,000 in condo fees and HOA dues. The HOA had served us for court. The court date was last month, and I started working a new job the week before, so I didn't go to court, figuring the judge would default judge for the plaintiff, HOA, and my new wages would get garnished, as has happened to me with creditors in the past. Instead, the HOA lawyer requested a continuance and that the judge issue capias warrant. I didn't know any of this. Worked all day yesterday, and I was exhausted when I got home. I went to bed at 9:30 p.m., but 10 minutes later, someone was pounding on the door like they were the cops or something. They were the cops. They scared my wife and kids and my dogs pretty bad. They wouldn't and couldn't tell me why they were arresting me, but took me out of my house in handcuffs and to jail. When I got to jail, after a bit in the holding cell, one of the arresting officers, and a 55-year-oldish officer, took me to a little room. I asked why I was there, and they couldn't believe that I would have no idea. I said that the only legal trouble, besides a paid-for speeding ticket last year, was my HOA was trying to get a judgment on me for unpaid HOA dues. They said that that couldn't be it. A few minutes later, the magistrate's office sends over a fax saying that the warrant was issued on behalf of my HOA lawyer's request. The cops were surprised, as they had never arrested anyone for civil cases involving overdue bills. I talked to the magistrate over a Skype type of interface and was given a court date for the charge of failure to appear and another court date for the unpaid HOA dues. I was then released 25 miles from home. Bad night. An update. So I may have been wrong, but the cops came again to arrest me again about 20 minutes ago. I was able to convince them that they had already arrested me last week. Thank God the paperwork was at arm's length. What do you think about this story? Should OP be in trouble or is the HOA being dirty? Let me know what you think. This one's an interesting one. Karen wants my tires. It's almost snow season here, and I booked an appointment to have my tires swapped today a month ago. First snow is forecast Wednesday morning, so I knew it would be busy when I got there. It was actually chaos. I checked my vehicle in after about 15 minutes in line, and I was thinking that they were moving pretty quickly for it to be that short, given that they had so many vehicles. There were even some parked on the grass. I had to park a quarter-mile down and walk up. And for the next hour, I waited and got to hear the poor employees get screamed at over and over by walk-in customers with no appointments who thought that they should get their tires immediately. But the last one really takes the cake. She'd been staring through the big windows at the shop the whole time she was in line. She was told she had two choices: make an appointment for next Monday and come back, or leave her vehicle and they'd get it done in the order that it came in after those with appointments, so she'd probably need to come back in 8 hours. She started freaking out, screaming and cussing that she needed her tires now and didn't care who was in front of her because she was the first one in line right now. The employee patiently and kindly explained her options again and that they were booked solid for a week. She never even looked at him. She cut him off, yelling at him to give her the tires in the back of that black little SUV that just rolled out. I checked over my shoulder, and sure enough, they just finished up my Land Rover. The employee kept trying to tell her that my tires are mine and that they have plenty of tires. They only have 4 work bays. Well, that SUV is off the lift, so just put mine on it and give me the tires that you put in the back of it. It's really simple. Are you an idiot? He blinked, started to say something, and I cut in. Hey, that's my vehicle. Those are my tires. I own them. Are you suggesting that he steal my all-terrain tires that suck in snow and have them put on your car that they won't even fit? She said, tires are tires. Well then drive off with the ones you have on and leave everyone here the heck alone. Her now whining like a toddler, but they're not snow tires. I need snow tires. I just lost it laughing. Neither are my off-road tires that they'd taken off my rims to put my snow tires on. So I say, seriously, just make an appointment like the rest of us did, and you'll have tires that fit. No, stop yelling at people and go book it online. So I stood up. I don't think I'm exactly intimidating as a 5'6", 49-year-old woman, but it worked. She left and several others in line followed her out. I felt bad about that, honestly. So I say to the employee, sorry you lost business there, but my vehicle is done? He was laughing but trying to hide it. Apparently, everyone that left had been in earlier yelling at them too, so he didn't mind. I still don't understand what her thought process was in the whole thing. Someone said, as I was leaving, that she'd also left her car parked in the middle of the right-hand traffic lane on the busy highway in front of the place. But a shout out to that employee for never losing his cool at all. I can only imagine what his day was like already by the time that she started in, based on just the time I was there. Friendly reminder, if you live somewhere it snows, book your tire appointment in advance. I would like them to try to put those tires on Karen's car. It's not going to work. That is basic knowledge, is it not? And I'm not even a mechanic. I'm not moving until the police get here. So I'm a shift supervisor for a retail drugstore chain. This happened yesterday in my parking lot. I don't know what this is called, so I'm just going to call it the drive path. In an enclosed parking lot, you have parking spots on both sides. In the middle, there are 2 unmarked lanes where cars drive to get in and get out. Those lanes are what I'm calling the drive path. So I'm doing my usual task in the store when a customer asks me to call the cops. Apparently, there's a verbal fight going on in the parking lot. Just as I'm making my way out, the phone rings asking for a manager. An employee tells me that there was a minor fender bender in the parking lot involving a white and orange car. One of the cars is blocking the drive path, orange. Orange is blocking her and she can't get out. She just wants to go home and to please call the cops. I step outside and all I hear is yelling, so I call the police. The police dispatcher tells me that she just spoke to one of the parties involved in the accident and told them to just trade information. Apparently, the situation has escalated, so she'll send a patrol car out. I then remember there are cameras in the parking lot. Orange is still blocking the drive path and refusing to move. Unfortunately, it took the police an hour to come. During that hour, we get numerous customer complaints. Due to the volatile situation, we decide not to intervene for our safety. During that hour, quite a few near accidents happen due to the cars having to drive around orange. During that hour, we call the police again. Unfortunately, there are more pressing needs. White calls us asking if we have video footage of the accident, and we say that we do. However, we can only give it to the police or her insurance. White is satisfied and thanks us. This is just what the other employees and customers told me when outside. White is constantly telling Orange to please park her car in a parking spot. Orange keeps yelling swear words and calling White racist. After a while, White starts yelling swear words as well. Orange says something about not having insurance and recently losing her husband, and Orange keeps refusing to move until the cops get there so the cops can determine who is at fault. From what we saw on video, the accident was a minor tap from both cars backing out. No serious damage, just a few scratches and a dent. On camera, we finally see a police car pull in and immediately tells Orange to move her car. Orange complies. The video does not have audio, so we don't know exactly what was said. We then see the cop talking with both White and Orange for 10 minutes. White leaves first, and the cop has a talk with Orange. Cop waits for Orange to leave before leaving himself, and at no point did the cop come into the store or ask to see the video. I mean, wouldn't things be a lot easier if Karens would just comply? Instead of making a whole drama scene about it, making a mountain out of a molehill, she just makes things worse for everybody and wastes all of her time. You ever run into a Karen like that? You're not a veteran, you're a woman. Due to popular demand, I've asked my friend Belle, a retired Army officer, for more Dependopotamus stories, and she delivered this lovely gem. This took place several months after she retired, but was still living in the town where she was last posted. She went to a local store to get some last-minute things for a party that she and her husband, Adam, were hosting. Belle has veteran plates on her car, and at this particular store, there's a parking space designated for veterans. So, Belle parks in the spot, when here comes our Dependopotamus, aka Karen. The exchange went roughly as follows. "What are you doing here, wearing your husband's rank?" Excuse me?" Belle replied. "You're not a veteran, you're a woman. Move or I will have you towed." "No." "Get back here." Karen reached out to grab her, but Belle moved out of the way and went inside, thinking that that would be the end of it and pitying the poor person that this woman was married to. Alas, it was only just the beginning. When Belle got home, Adam asked her if she'd seen Facebook. Belle said, "Nope, why?" And Adam then showed her. Our Dependopotamus Karen had stalked Belle throughout the store, took several pictures of her, and posted a nasty post in the military spouse support group for this particular area about how Belle wore her husband's rank and took the place away from a deserving veteran, and my husband and I have to put up with this crap, among other colorful things. Belle just shook her head, rolled her eyes, and went on preparing for the party. That night, people started arriving. One of the people invited was a major that Belle had mentored during her last posting and had a good relationship with. He arrived, exchanged the usual pleasantries, and then said, "Let me introduce you to my wife, Karen. Karen, this is Belle Smith, my former general." According to Belle, the look on Karen's face when she saw Belle's face was priceless. Oh, wow. I didn't expect that twist, and I loved it. I wish I could have been a fly on the wall there to really see Karen's reaction and how you come back from that. How do you recover? You can't recover. What have you done? I love this one. HOA blasts my window with a floodlight, so I ruined their entire property. Click the video on your screen. You do not want to miss this one, and I'll see you there.